The chronic fatigue syndrome diet. Are you ready for it? There is none. There's a lot of people online who will tell you that there's only one way to eat to beat your chronic fatigue syndrome. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Usually with these fad diets, doing extreme diets can actually be really harmful for people with chronic fatigue syndrome, especially if they're in the acute stage of suffering where the body is at a low capacity and basically the body and the brain is screaming out for help. And you may be doing intermittent fasting, you may be doing keto diet, you may be doing carnivore, you may be eating vegan, you might be doing raw. And if you think about it, it all sounds pretty damn exhausting when you're already exhausted. One thing that we've found that's been really, really helpful isn't necessarily a diet. Instead, it's a way of eating. And it's all about balancing your blood sugar levels. This basically means you are having a holistic approach with your food. You're eating whole foods for the majority of the time. So things that have been grown from the ground up and animal proteins that have been really, really beneficial for patients recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID. And this would look like having a good amount of macronutrients in each meal. And that means we're looking at protein, we're looking at good, healthy carbohydrates, and of course, good, healthy fats. Now, you can get all of this from natural food sources instead of cardboard box, produced manufactured food that isn't going to be as helpful for you. One of the biggest things we say at CFS Health in regards to food is that food is fuel. And if you think about it, your body and your brain is running on empty when you're going through something like chronic fatigue syndrome. So to starve it of nutrients, to delay food intake, to restrict certain macronutrients from your nutrition plan can be stressful physiologically on the body. And like I said before, balancing your blood sugar levels and giving your body food as fuel is going to be really, really helpful as you start to heal from chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID. What that would look like is eating over the period of the day, breaking the fast with breakfast. Breaking your fast when you sleep, you're obviously not eating. So when you wake up in the morning, you want to have breakfast. Again, you would want to have a wholesome meal that has protein, good carbohydrates. And when I say good carbohydrates, we're talking natural sources of glucose. Yeah. So it can be root vegetables. There can be certain types of fruit that work for you. And ultimately, a source of protein that is going to help a slow, sustained source of energy for your brain and body. And of course, you can add in fats there too. Ideally, you don't want to wait too long to eat again. So if you're kind of leaving gaps 6 to 7 hours long and not eating, your brain and your body can feel like it's in survival mode. And already because it's in survival mode, it's already feeling like I don't feel safe. And so food can be a sense of safety and security. We want to make sure that we're adding fuel to the body as we're burning energy throughout the day. And you have to remember that your body is kind of working twice as hard right now to help you heal. And so you want to support your brain and body with food to do that. So meal frequency is really important. Eating everyone's different, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours with your meal frequency, making sure that there's a well-balanced meal on every single meal. So again, protein, good carbs, good carbohydrates, and fats, and basically keeping that consistent every single day. Obviously, you want to stay true to your body and you want to be in tune with yourself. And the most important thing is thinking about how we're going about our nutrition. Often diets are associated with stress. And if you think about it, when we're trying a diet, most of the time it's usually out of desperation. And that can, for some people, it can be really, really helpful. But for the majority, coming from a place of stress and overwhelm and exhaustion only creates more stress, more overwhelm, and more exhaustion. And so what you want to do is pay attention to not what you're doing, but how you're going about it. And you might find that the more relaxed you are about your approach, the more enjoyable it can be. In fact, the more the tension will be released and your body will be able to absorb the nutrients better too. It's often a huge factor that not many people talk about. Stress eating, and not so much stress eating of like eating when you're stressed, but being stressed about your food. And that can have a really detrimental effect on whatever you're eating. Doesn't matter how healthy it is. If you're stressing about it and you're really holding tightly on a grip about it having to be perfect and you can't eat this and you can't eat that, and it's really, really overwhelming and stressful, that's definitely not conducive of a healing environment for your brain and body to be in. So take your time. Remember, think about how you're going about it. We don't want it to be super stressful. We want it to be relaxed, and you might be really, really pleasantly surprised what can happen when you eat in this way. Hope this video was helpful, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.